We're back with another Netflix original and another adaptation of a Stephen King novella. This one was written in conjunction with Joe Hill, his son, and it's called In the Tall Grass. Now, one of the reasons I was really excited about this was the director Natalia, who did one of my favourite movies from the 90s, Cube, and he did some other good stuff as well, Splice and Cypher, and I was really interested to see what he was going to do with this type of movie. And it being a horror drama, one of my favourite things about this is the fact that it jumps right into the crux of the story. You don't get much of a preamble about the characters. Now, this can go one of two ways. We can either learn about the characters throughout the tale, or we can just be given these caricatured characters that are going to be cannon fodder throughout it. Luckily enough, this one actually takes the time to explore their histories, what brought them to this place and what they're doing throughout the story. But let's get back to the main story. We have a brother and sister, Cal and Becky, who are travelling across the country, going somewhere for a purpose that we don't know what. Becky is pregnant. She's feeling a little bit nauseous. They just pull over so she can vomit. And there's this long, tall grass. And she starts to hear a boy calling. The voice of Tobin, a character we're going to meet later on, who seems to be lost in this tall grass and cannot get out. And that is it. We are thrown into the story literally seconds, maybe a minute or two into the film. We are into this grass, and this grass has some kind of strange supernatural ethereal power. Once you're in it, you're kind of lost. You can't get your way back out. Things change and move haphazardly, almost without will. And it just creates this fantastic idea. This grass, which is about 8 feet tall, towers over them. They can't get any kind of grasp on where they are logistically, geographically around this, because it keeps moving. They can get above the grass for a moment and see a building. They'll head towards it. They'll go back up. The building's gone. They'll look up at the sun. They'll get an idea of whereabouts they are. They'll look down. They'll look back up. Suddenly it's behind them, but they haven't taken a step. There is all this kind of weird twisting of logic. The grasp of reality is very loose on this movie because they're stuck within this supernatural place. And we get Becky and Cal, and as they're struggling to find each other, and Tobin at the start, you get a kind of idea that they're on they're on the road from one place to another for a reason. Tobin is this kid who they stumble across that seems to know a rather lot about this mysterious place. He knows about various things that have happened, and to explain the full plot of the movie, it would be really tough because it travels time and it distorts time as well, and characters are there in multiple versions, and it becomes really great in the way that it's all interconnected. Coming from the novella is a good basis, and being able to draw lots of things from that, having the backstory that comes throughout it, gives it a really strong base. The filmmaking techniques on here are great. You get long hypnotic shots of this grass, whether it be top down or just slowly zooming in on it, and it just creates this kind of weird atmosphere as it moves and shifts. And these are the kind of shots in these movies that I just love, because we know as an audience there's just something not quite right about that, and just seeing nature being nature can sometimes be terrifying because you realise how dangerous it actually is. Now, we get more characters in this as well. We get Tobin's father Ross and his mother Natalie, and then we get Travis, who is Becky's former partner and probably the father to her child when we first meet him. And when he turns up, there's been a long period of time between Becky and Cal going into the tall grass and Travis getting there. Their car is covered in dirt. It's been on that road for a long while. He goes into there looking for them because he finds kind of clues outside that leads him into it. And he kind of discovers that he too is trapped in this. And we have these 6 characters all bumping into each other at certain points and then losing each other again, trying to figure out who's going to really be the antagonist of this bunch, who's going to be the one that starts to turn on these people. The fact that we have this supernatural playground to be in, the fact that we have these 6 characters, and the fact that they start to have multiple versions of each of them as it seems to lose all grasp on time, logic, and everything else that ties just life together. It breaks all the rules, and we are left with characters who, as we meet different versions of them, have different goals, have different ideas in mind of where they want to be and what they're going to do, and it gets twisted and fun. And overall, the characters grow and change and become different people, and it leaves it on a terrific ending as well. I really enjoyed In the Tall Grass. I thought it was really fun and atmospheric, but it added characters and gave them a little bit of a dramatic purpose throughout it as well. They had real motivations other than just being stuck in there. They had things that they had to work out, and they did it by being stuck in this situation and dealing head on with their issues. It's really well done, and it's well filmed, and it's well executed, and it's short and it's succinct, and it doesn't drag on too long. It's one of the better Netflix movies that I've seen in the longest while because it's fully in control. It doesn't languish just because it has that Netflix kind of money. They can do what they want. They tell a story. They jump straight in at the starting point of where everything kicks off, and it gets out and doesn't leave too much fat at the end either. I love these concise, concentrated horror tales, and the horror is most definitely there. Like I said, even just a static image of this long grass just blowing in the wind, it's terrifying in this movie, the way it is shot, the way it is set up. In the Tall Grass is a terrific horror movie. Great for October, one of the better Netflix movies I've seen recently as well, and just a fun, entertaining thrill ride. Highly recommended. Love to know your thoughts on In the Tall Grass. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.